Today I'm going to be making a Kydex knife sheath. This is going to be for a little neck knife that I made here in the last week. I'm going to make a taco style sheath, and I'm using 0.06 inch thick Kydex, and I'm just laying the knife out, giving myself about an inch from the edge and rolling it over and about an inch from the other edge, and then marking that line out. And then I'm using some tin snips just to cut out that little piece of Kydex. So I've seen guys use, you could use a saw, a band saw or a hacksaw, anything will cut that Kydex. Once I've got that done, then I put some painter's tape, and I put 2 layers of tape on each side over the blade. And the reason for the tape, partially to protect the blade, but mainly to give yourself a little bit of space in between the Kydex and the knife. After it forms, you take the tape off, and it'll give you that little bit of extra space there. The Kydex will scratch the blade up, so you want a snug fit, but you don't want it so tight that it scratches up the blade. Let's get the tape on there. I'm using a little toaster oven. I bought that toaster oven for $5 at a junk shop in Lakey, Texas, and it comes in real handy for heating things up, tempering knives. Put that Kydex in. I let the toaster heat up to about 325. Put the Kydex in for a few minutes and get it soft. And just wrap it around the blade, and I put it in the little press that I made. I've got a video on that. It's real simple. Some plywood and door hinges and just some clamps with some foam padding in there. And you let that sit and let the Kydex cool off 10 or 15 minutes maybe. And you can take it out, and Kydex should have formed to the shape of your blade. The Kydex will stick to itself when you fold it over, like you can see with the screwdriver. I'm trying to pry it loose, trying to get the knife back out. Sometimes you have to work with it a little bit. Once I get the knife out, then I can lay out my little eyelet to get the right spacing, and I mark out where I want to cut off the excess of the Kydex, and then I just take that over to the bandsaw and cut out the rough shape. If you don't have a bandsaw, I mean, you could cut that out with a hacksaw, or even you could use the tin snips to cut that out as well. So once I got it all cut out, and then I'll take it over to a belt sander, smooth up the edges, and kind of round those edges over. And the Kydex is basically plastic, and it leaves a lot of rough burred edges when you cut it with the saw, so that you kind of have to sand those down. And I start out with the belt sander, and then move over to a little Dremel and just try and clean up those edges. It's important to get the inside edge of the sheath, and I use a little piece of sandpaper that will rub on the knife as it goes in and out of the sheath. So you want to try and get that as smooth as you can, and you'll also get a lot of little debris down in there inside the sheath, so you try and clean that out. You can blow it out with some air. Try to get it as cleaned out as you can, otherwise it will scratch up the blade. So I'll get that done, and then I'll mark the holes out where I want to put the eyelets. Just take that over to a drill press. You could use a hand drill for that just as easily, and drill those holes out. If you're using a clip, you want to make sure you space those holes to the dimensions of the clip. This knife's going to be a neck knife, so I wasn't too worried about that. I set the eyelets with an arbor press. You could use a hammer and the dies and just hammer those on. I like the arbor press results better, and so I started using an arbor press from that. Here I've just got a lighter, and I'm heating up that top edge to make a little thumb ramp, and that's actually an older video. I didn't have it for this video, but I did the same thing on this one. Made a little ramp there so you can pop the knife out with your thumb. And pretty much have a finished sheath at this point. Like I said, it's real easy do-it-yourself project. You don't need a lot of tools to make one of these. You can put a clip on there, wear it on your belt or in your pocket, or like I'm doing here, put a lanyard on it for a neck knife. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.